All right, we are live on YouTube. I just need for the video to connect on my other monitor so that I can grab that link and put it in our group so that our community can conveniently join us live on YouTube and in the live chat. So I'm going to grab this link. I see it now. We're going to put it over here in the group. Awesome. And then I'm going to make sure I can see the live chat so that when the group comes on, I can see their responses. Okay, awesome, cool. Now, speaking of groups, if you are an entrepreneur that is spinning their wheels and struggling to get to your first six figures in business, then this morning show is for you. But if you want to be in studio for this show and having the opportunity to take advantage of the hot seat where you get your individual obstacles addressed, just like Dr. LaFera and Shawana and Dawana, Cheryl and Dr. Tachi are in studio with us today, you need to be in the group. That's just one of the ways that you can take advantage of the value given by our group. So go to shaycannon.info/group. Let me mute Dawana. There you go, Dawana. Go to shaycannon.info/group to join us. We come together as a free business mastermind, giving more value than most paid masterminds. We have three pillars of value that we give. Number one, we come together and build community with events like a virtual happy hour and a movie night. So we did that last week, the movie night. Number two, we are intentional about collaborating to make each other's businesses better and to make money together. Finally, number three, we have conversations that are transformational for your business growth, like free trainings. We had one last night and this morning show. So you need to join us, shaycannon.info/group. All right. Now let's get started. Welcome to your first six figures morning show. This week's blog is at shaycannon.com/speaking. That's shaycannon.com/speaking. I'm going to drop that in the YouTube. Boom, there we go. Because what we've been talking about all week long, we're closing this series out today. We've been talking about visibility and credibility through speaking for entrepreneurs. All right. What we know is if you can get on other people's platforms and other people's stages, then you can get to know more people and drive even more new people to your offers. Okay, that's how powerful that speaking opportunity can be, let alone that the speaking opportunity in and of itself can pay you and help you to reinvest in your business. Okay, so speaking is a great tool to have. However, if you want to be seen as a professional speaker, you have to have things together in a professional way. Okay. So first is you need to ask initial questions. That's called an inquiry phase to see, just at a glance, is this opportunity good for you? Okay. To see if the conversation needs to continue about you taking up this speaking opportunity. Next, you need to get additional information to see if it's really and truly a fit. We need to be able to evaluate it. Now, this is where we ask the deeper questions that we cannot be afraid to ask. All right. Number three, we need professional assets. Okay. We need professional assets. So if you want to know what those initial information that you get looks like, go to part one's replay that was on Monday. If you want to know the additional questions you need to ask to go deeper and evaluate the opportunity for whether or not you should do it, go to Tuesday's replay. That's part two. Yesterday is when we talked about the assets, and it was a great one. I gave you guys a demo of a couple of assets. And if you got the show notes, those show notes was packed, let me tell you. Okay. So yesterday was about assets. So if you need to know about the assets, go to yesterday's replay. Today, what we're talking about is getting event ready. Okay, getting event ready. So we've approved this speaking opportunity. We are now going to speak on this platform. Now what? Right? What do we need to be doing from the time that we accept to the time that we actually show up? All right. So taking ownership of gathering all necessary information once a speaking opportunity is confirmed is key. Okay. It's key to ensuring a professional and seamless experience at the event. As a speaker, staying proactive about these details demonstrates commitment, prevents last-minute surprises, and allows for a polished, prepared presence that aligns with the expectations of the event organizers and the attendees, okay? So having a thorough checklist of what's required both before and during the event gives you as a speaker clarity, reduces your stress, and shows respect for the organizer's schedule and logistics, okay? Let me tell you how most event organizers are not really a lot of them aren't really event planners, right? So they don't always think of all the things, and sometimes they push things to the last minute. So you need to take ownership of how you show up by continuously asking them questions and getting the answers that you need, because they don't always have processes in place, okay, to make sure that you are well prepared to hit the stage. So you need to have processes in place to make sure that you're aware and prepared to hit the stage, okay? Again, you're going to take ownership of the opportunity. Now, that's what's in the blog. As you know, here on the morning show, we give you more. So let me pull open these show notes so that I can give you more. But first, if you don't know me, I am Shay Cannon. I'm an award-winning fractional chief operating officer with an exclusive clientele of 6- and 7-figure CEOs, living my best life just 3 blocks from the beach in Mexico, okay? I use my superpowers to create a foundation of business growth to position online service-based entrepreneurs like you to generate your first 6 figures to fund your lifestyle of freedom, even if you don't have a team, all right? Now, that's who I am. Let's get into event readiness or preparedness, okay? I need y'all to write these things down, especially if you don't have show notes accessibility, all right? So I have put this in 2 different categories, okay? After we accept the opportunity, what we need to know next, and the things we need to definitely be prepared on the day of, okay? So let's start off with that after the opportunity is accepted. These are the questions you should be asking, okay? Where and when do I submit my headshot, my bio, and my presentation title? Okay. How many minutes will the session be? Does that include Q&A time? You need to know that, right? Some people will tell you it's 30 minutes, but guess what? If that 30 minutes includes Q&A time, then your presentation itself only really needs to be about 15, 20 minutes, right? However, if they tell you you're going to go an hour and then have a Q&A, then you need to be ready to present for a full hour and then do the Q&A, okay? So that's why that's an important question, because that's going to tell you the length of time you need to actually present. And so what your presentation should look like is dependent on that time period, okay? Confirm I am not expected to attend any follow-up events associated with my speaking, okay? We're going to confirm, because remember, we asked already in the additional questions, but you know, some people be like, oh, I don't know, I'll get back to you. We need to confirm, because I'm not going to show up there thinking that I'm going to do my presentation and leave, and then you expected me to come back that night, or you expected me to go have one of them little meals where all you're going to have is chicken. I need to know, okay? I need to know what all I'm doing, okay? Next, will an event branded presentation template be provided, or am I free to present with my own branded template? See, let me tell y'all something. These folks like to wait till the last minute and tell you got to use their presentation deck, and you didn't already put your presentation together. What? Give me the presentation deck, people, so I can get my stuff done. So I need to know, are they giving us presentation decks? Because y'all have been to those events or been on the virtual events where everybody had the same baseline template that they were using that was branded for the event. Well, I need to know that ahead of time, okay? Also, let me tell you how my own presentation template already has set up like the different slides, like a full picture slide, a picture on the left, text on the right slide, a text on the left. They might not even have all of that. I need to know what they got going on, okay? Now, is it easy to transfer? Yes. But do I want to come in there with my branded presentation? Everybody else had the event branded presentation because I didn't keep asking, and then I happened to be the only one that didn't know? I don't want that. So a matter of process, I always ask, all right? The next question, what is the deadline to submit presentations? First, you might want to ask, do you have to submit your presentation? Some people are micromanagers. They want you to present that presentation to them first, or they just want to have the presentation deck to be able to give their VIP people, because people are always asking, can I have a copy of the slides? So first you can ask, do they want you to submit them? But if they do, you need to ask, what's the deadline? Okay. What day and time is my presentation? See, we have all of these multi-day events. I need to know what day I'm showing up, and I need to know in what time slot. Even if it's just a one-day event, what's my time slot? Okay, so I can be ready for that. I'm not giving you the entire day. I'm giving you, what I need to be prepared for that time slot. All right. The rest of this stuff is if it's in person, okay? Will there be a green room? I need to know if there's going to be a room specifically for speakers or a backstage space or whatever, or am I finna hide out in the bathroom for a while? Because see, the way my speaking self is set up, my nerves be bad. I be wanting to boo-boo all the things, okay? Even though I am great at speaking, I will speak, I still always get nervous just before, and I don't like people talking to me during that time. I don't want nobody messing with me during that time. It doesn't feel good. Now, my attitude is bad when I get on the stage. I want to do the best I can to prepare myself to give my best on that stage, but my social battery be low, y'all. So I can't have people draining my battery before I even get to the stage. So I have to sequester myself and then come out as my best self like just before. Okay. So I be needing to know about the green room. All right. What size is my exhibit table? Anything else needed before the day of the presentation? Because again, I don't like people messing with me in the last hours, asking me for stuff that maybe I don't have access to, or maybe I had to travel and I came early and so I'm already there. Now I don't have that thing. Like, do you need anything else before I come? Okay. Who do I contact with future questions and for speaker support? This is a good one because see, sometimes the person talking to you at the beginning is not the same person that you're going to be able to get a hold of if you need anything as time goes by. So we need to be asking. Okay, cool. Now, those are the questions you're going to ask after you accept the opportunity. Now, there are some key questions that you need to ask about the day of. Okay, here we go. What time frame is the setup time for my exhibition table? Did y'all know when you have to set up stuff, there's only a small window that they give you to set up stuff because they're not going to let you be sitting up in front of their audience as their audience come in. So if you are given an exhibition table or exhibit table, you need to know what is the time period to come and set up. Okay? You need to know that. All right. What time do I need to arrive? Okay? Because see, different people have different times that they want you to arrive. There are micromanagers, there are macro managers, and then there's just, let's not stress people out for the event, right? So showing up right before you're supposed to go on stage is very stressful. People are not knowing if you're coming. They don't know if they need to push up the next speaker, anything. So, hey, there should be a time where you need to arrive. If they don't give you a time, give yourself a time that allows for traffic, that allows for hiccups, but you still get there on time with a cushion. Okay. You need a cushion. Don't just show up to them people's event right at the time that you're supposed to speak. That's disrespectful. All right. Where is parking? Is there a cost associated with parking? Do you validate parking tickets? I need to know all of this, right? Because I need to know, is this coming out of my pocket? Is the parking, because see, this is another thing, y'all. Sometimes the parking for an event could be a block or two away from the actual building for the event. So I might opt to get a lift instead of parking so that I'm not stressed out. You need to know about the parking situation, all right? What conference room or auditorium do I need to report to when I arrive to check in? Because see, sometimes where the people are speaking and where you check in as a speaker are two different locations. So we need to know that. Okay. You also need to know what conference room or auditorium you're actually speaking in. Okay. So you need to know both. Okay. Who do I need to check in with upon my arrival? Because see, sometimes these folks don't have no special station set up, but you need to know who are you looking for to check in. Okay. Last but not least, who do I need to check out with before my departure? Okay. Because see, sometimes you might not know it, but maybe they have some type of roundup where they're giving speakers an award or they're giving speaker gifts before they leave. You just don't know what they need from you or want to give you before you leave. So, hey, is there a process of, when I'm getting ready to go, I need to let somebody know that as a speaker, I'm gone. All right. So Have y'all thought of any of that kind of stuff? And do you see where it will have you prepared? And do you have any questions about the entire week? I'm going to start with Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi, do you see where that will have you prepared? And do you have any questions about the entire week? Uh-oh, Dr. Tachi might not be back. Let's go to Cheryl first.
No, I'm good. You've been very thorough.
Cool beans. Then let's go to Dewana. Dewana, do you see where these questions will have you prepared for the day of? And do you have any questions about the entire week?
No, that was good stuff. Very thorough, very excellent week of information. No, you covered it all. Good job. Great job.
Thank you. Y'all know I love compliments. You know how to get me. All right, Shawana Kennedy, you jumping into this speaking thing. Do you see where these questions will have you prepared for the day of? And do you have any questions about the entire week?
Well, I'll follow my peers, and because I actually have been speaking for a few years now, on different platforms and different stages. So even watching, I've learned things not to do, because sometimes you can bring too much stuff. How about that? Uh,
Tell us about
those are the
it.
things that people, don't really think about and don't talk about, because sometimes you may not have the space that you believe that they've said that they're going to give you, because I've been in cases where, you try to squeeze that one more vendor in. And so things are things are like really, really tight. Uh, but it's all good. And I've been in the case in the seat of, I'd rather have stuff and not need it than need it and not have it. So having stuff already in my vehicle or whoever come with me. And I don't know if you mentioned it, because I could have, I'm double dutying over here.
Yes.
Seeing if you're allowed to bring a +1, because
Yeah.
depending on, yeah, that's important too, because you do want to be your best self and great for to deliver. So yeah, no, as always, Shay, this is good. Fourth quarter, doing it, getting it ready with all of the things that you said you're going to be doing with the podcasting, which again, I have really been looking at some of the groups and the things that she shared with us, guys. If you are just watching this, make sure you go back and check that out, because I know some of my peers that are on here, they're doing podcasts or gearing up for podcasts. And it's just another way for you to do what? Be seen and heard, with your expertise, your creativity, showing your skill, showing them how you can help them level up in the things that they get. I say they get to do, because God could use anybody, but he chooses to use us. And we have a responsibility to show up, show out, and shine in all of that greatness. So once again, Shay, you're beautiful, darling. Thank you so much. I rest the mic.
Thank you, darling. And yes, so that additional person question is under evaluation. So that was part 2, day 2. That's in those questions if y'all need that. Thank you so much for that, Shawana. I love it. I will also say, do you guys know that those suitcases that tend to be block style or rectangular block style and kind of hard, but they come with the handle, the telescopic handle? Those work good for speaking. Especially if you have a few books you might want to give away or sell. It works for you to carry all the things that you need. I love when I used to do in-person speaking, I had one of those, and I used to just keep it packed with things that I needed to speak, and all I had to do was kind of refresh it for each speaking opportunity. So there are things that make it easier for you to show up as your best self. So thank you for
Yeah,
that,
having
Shawana.
a one that's even big enough, especially if you're flying and you get that extra luggage. One is the travel, and then one is actually where it could even fit your retractable banner, your book,
Yes.
the cloth, where you just really, the Pullman. It's the Pullman. Having a
Exactly.
good Pullman. Yeah, I keep a couple for the different things that I do, so they're actually ready to go. So you are right.
Yep, I love it. I love it. And when I travel, I actually use that briefcase as my carry-on as my personal bag rather than having a backpack. So yeah, that's how I kind of reconcile that. So good. Thank you for that, Shawana. All right, Dr. LaFera, do you see where these questions we talked about today will have you prepared for the day of? And do you have any questions about the entire week?
What Shawana said. Yeah, I've done a good bit of speaking. I need to do more paid speaking.
Yes.
So yeah, so I like the stuff you said about how to calculate your rates. That was really interesting, and I hadn't thought about it like what you said for that. So yeah, so like, but this was good. I liked it, and I really loved your brand guide, your speaker brand guide. I'm gonna have to go to the show notes and grab that so I can get a graphic designer or somebody to hook that up for me.
Yes.
I know I need one, but
well, I gave you the Canva template for it. I didn't just give you the brand guide, so somebody can go in there and switch that stuff out, and then you have one. All right. So if you need the Canva template for my brand guide, it was in the assets replay where I did a demonstration of it. I went through the whole thing, and if you got the show notes from, if you're in the group, you can get the show notes. If you signed up to get the morning show in your inbox, then you need to check yesterday's inbox email, because that's what that stuff is. All right, cool beans. Now let's go back to Dr. Tachi. She is ready. Dr. Tachi, do you see where these questions that you're going to ask from today will have you prepared for the day of your speaking event? And do you have any questions about the entire week?
The entire week was phenomenal. This is something that was really needed, because I think sometimes it's an aspect we overlook when it comes to that. Oh, you can speak about what you know as well. So this was really good. I don't know if, while I was gallivanting to take out the garbage, if you mentioned about technology.
I did not. What would you like to know, or what do you want to add?
Well, just to, because in part of the preparation of that, sometimes, you often are using technology. So you need to get there early enough to make sure that the tech you're using works and that the tech they're using works. I'll give you an example. So InvestFest just happened a few weeks ago. So I attended virtually. For as large as that organization is, you would have thought the tech situation would have been better. Now, the thing is that it's also, there were two things there. So that's why I'm saying on the fault of the speakers too. There's some people, who think they're too big and they can get there. Oh, I'm not going to get there until the morning of. Sometimes you don't have a choice, but sometimes if you do have a choice, you need to get there early enough. Get into the room, see how it feels, how big is it, how do I have to adjust my communication style to the size of the room, and what is the tech going to be like? Because what I noticed was that, and poor tech people, don't mess with tech people because they control your entire presentation. So some of them were like, come on, tech people. I was like, well, who told you to get there 5 minutes before the presentation? So on us, we need to get there on time to make sure our tech worked. And then you need to have a plan B in case your tech doesn't work. Do you have things that you can hand out? Is there another way you can present this? Because I think sometimes speakers are not prepared if the tech fails. You have to have a plan B. So that's what I want. Oh, and then also, in terms of, because you talked about having somebody to, asking about pictures and video clips before. Well, this is the reason, especially those of you all that are with Indie Soup, this is the reason that I'm like, okay, start looking at investing in equipment, because it can pull double duty. So the same camera, the professional camera I use to do Mediascope, I can take out of my, the system and take it with me and use that. So you set it up ahead of time, you bring your little tripod, and then you make sure everything is there and focus, use autofocus. And if for some reason you don't have that, then you can always have the recording you have without, and you can use your phone, but again, sometimes you get calls, sometimes the Wi-Fi won't whatever the case may be. So that's what I want to say, but excellent week.
Those were great value adds. That's great value adds. And I will tell y'all, in that suitcase that I have, I always have my own laptop with me in case I have to plug in my laptop. And I'm always using the laptop that can create to HDMI, because, they got laptops nowadays that don't have all the outputs and inputs that old laptops had. Just like your phone, they be trying to give you to do the C chord only. You need to be ready. So, yes, I love that. Thank you,
Oh,
Dr.
I'm sorry.
Tachi.
One other thing, make sure
Yes.
you have all the dongles you need, because to the point of all the newer technology, so they may have the the USB connection, but it won't connect to the old USB connection. So my Mac is all USB-C. It's not going to work if they have an old USB connection. So make sure you have the adapters and the dongles and connectors to make it work for any system.
Cool beans. Yes, that was great value add, Dr. Tachi. We appreciate that. Dr. LaFera said, what kind of little camera do you have, Dr. Tachi? First of all, it ain't little, it's one of the professional ones. But what's the model and make of your camera, Dr. Tachi?
Oh, so my camera is old, and that's another thing that you all can do. You could go on places like mpb.com, borrowlenses.com, even B&H and Adorama. These are all professional camera and video stores, but they all have a refurbished section, so you could get these things cheaper. So mine I got in 2015, and it is the Panasonic Lumix GH4. So this is an old model, but it still works.
Yes. All right. We love that. So for y'all, that's talking about professional cameras cost too much. She just gave you a very affordable option. Go back and grab one of them old schools that still work. So cool beans. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. All right. Last call for questions. But we're gonna jump over here on the YouTube side. We got Glow over here. Hey, Glow. Glow said being a speaker sounds interesting to do, but didn't know it was a lot behind. And thank you for sharing the information with us. Yeah, so Glow, now you know that you have way more options, and now your mind has kind of been opened and exposed to like all the things you would want to have in place so that you are shown as the best that you can be. Because let me tell you how there are events that don't have professional things going on behind the scenes, and therefore it makes you look unprofessional. And guess what? When you get on that stage, the audience only sees you as unprofessional and not necessarily the event all the time. So you need to make sure you have processes in place, just like you have them in place in your business. You need to have processes in place for your speaking as a part of your business. So yes, Glow. All right, y'all, let's go to these announcements. You be thinking of your last questions before we get out of here. Announcements. So again, this is one of those weeks that you definitely need the show notes. Okay, so you can just copy and paste all these questions that I'm giving you so that you have them. There are only two ways you can get these show notes. Number one, be in the group, shaycannon.info/group. It's a free group. Why aren't you in the group? Okay, the show notes live in the files section of the group. Okay, second, you can get the entire morning show in your inbox. Okay, what you will get is an email in the morning telling you to hop on the YouTube live. And then in the afternoon, you'll get an email with two links, one to the replay and one to the show notes. All right. So go to shaycannon.com/show. Cool. Last night, we did a free training. It was awesome. It was called Next Level Clinic. Okay. This is our second clinic. The first clinic was the Business Clarity Clinic, where we got you clear. This is the follow-up clinic. This was a Business Next Level Clinic. So that now that you have your clarity, what are you going to do with it to get to the next level? Now, the event is free. We have a follow-up day, which is next Wednesday. However, if you did not show up last night, next Wednesday is not going to help you unless you buy the success kit where you can get the replay from last night. Okay, so go to shaycannon.com/next, sign up, get the success kit. It has a bunch of tools and all of the replays. Everybody on here almost, except for the Wanas, the Shawana and the Dawana. Well, Dawana was there for a little while, was at last night's Next Level Clinic. Do you guys want to share anything about the clinic?
I do. This is Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl.
It was not awesome. It was stupendous. I spent a good part of last night and early this morning going over that material and just coming up with all kinds of plan of actions. Let's put it that way. And I can't tell you enough. You know, I had the what was that lady's book about every woman should be a millionaire or whatever. The lady with the wild hair. But I had her book and I never read it. So I went and pulled it out, and it was like, oh my goodness, you all may want to get that book too, because it's got additional stuff in there that Shay, obviously can't put the whole book in there, the whole 9 yards, but it's like it was absolutely incredible. It really was a game changer, is a game changer, not was, because it's almost like it's the living word. and I'll leave well enough alone.
Cool. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Dr. Tachi.
Not the living word. Sheesh. The Church of Shea Cannon by the river. Okay.
Listen.
That was
It's a
excellent.
living
Look,
fitness
I do
word,
serve
you
the
know what I'm
people. I
saying?
serve the people.
Full
There you
gospel
go.
Church of God in Christ, holiness. Wow.
Oh, goodness, a mercy.
Yeah, to Cheryl's point, there's just so much that was in there. And I just want to say it's a general thing. And you're not lying in your intro when you say you give more value than some paid masterminds do. Let me
Yeah.
say, I don't even know most, but I would venture to say most paid masterminds do. So there was so much there, and she's absolutely correct. You really do need to either have been there or get the success kit so that you can properly sort through all of these things. And you do have to pay attention. If this is not a passive venture, because again, if you get up to use the restroom, you're like, wait, what happened? So it was excellent. You really should. I mean, I would definitely, all the things that we do, I always say go back, but definitely last night was a, how we say, game changer.
Ooh, okay. I like that. I like that. Cool beans. Dr. LaFera, are you still reeling from last night? Because I know it was a lot to process, even though I tried to make it more simple of a presentation. But because the presentation is not hard to understand, it's situating yourself and positioning yourself based on the presentation. That's the hard work. Did you want to add anything, Dr. LaFera?
Well, I have to get myself situated. I had to drop off for a second, at the end, but everything, I know you over deliver, you always do. So I always have to get your success kits. And I always come away with more clarity. And I can say that you give more value, especially more support and more value actually than a lot of, of the paid stuff. And I've done a lot of paid stuff. So, yeah, I can't wait to go back and look into the success kit and start applying it to the stuff that I already did in the previous clarity call, which was really good because I got like a whole document I can look at every time I get ready to do something. Content, talks, pitch, like anything. Tell people about what I do, like real quick, like
Exactly.
everything.
So I just wanted them to tell you so y'all don't think that I'm just bragging on myself, although I do brag on myself. I will break my arm, patting myself on the back. I will. However, I need you to understand how important the conversations that we have are. We truly are having conversations that are transformational for your business growth. So if you're not yet at your first 6 figures, and some of y'all that are still need to join, you need to be in the group, shaycannon.info/group. Shawana is over here acting like she don't know how to find the file section of the group. So we're going to go ahead, since we got a little time, and show you. So let me make sure that
I'm actually sending you a screenshot as we speak to show you what
I
I
don't
see.
need your screenshot because I don't know what you're doing.
Okay.
So when you get in the group, y'all, when you get in the group, you have these tabs. You got discussion, guides, featured, members, events, media, files. When you click on the files tab, all of those files from the show notes should pop up from the time that we actually started doing show notes. Okay. So yeah, they're all in there. I don't know what's going on with your computer and what you doing, but yeah, when you go in the group, our free mastermind group, okay, which is on Facebook, shaycannon.info/group will get you there so that you can join. When you first get there, you're going to be on the discussion tab. It's taking a minute. Okay. So we have our featured post, which has all of our events and stuff on it. Y'all see all of the events and stuff, right? All right. And by the way, the new dates for November come out tomorrow. So again, those featured posts are going to be important. But you go all the way to the end where it says files, and all the files are there. So I don't know what Shawana over there doing, y'all. What group was you looking in first, Shawana? Was you looking in the Slack channel? Is that the group you was looking at? Oh, now you're quiet. All right, we're going to leave Shawana alone. But yes.
Nope, I still sent you my screenshot just to show you.
Okay,
Mhm.
I understand, but I don't know what's wrong with your computer and your connection to Zucker the fucker. I don't know what it is.
That
But
didn't say we need to say that because yeah, you see.
yeah, I don't know. All right. Last call for alcohol. Anybody want to say anything or have a question? Let me double check YouTube, make sure there are no additional questions there. There are not. We got about 8 people watching, but nobody has a question. Okay, no problem. Okay, well, that is
have
the
one
week.
one
Okay,
last
what
thing.
you got, Dr. Tachi?
That what you always give works works in tandem with other things. So it really works to break down and explain. So if you happen to be in other coaching programs like I am, it really is for me she is a foundational document, if that makes any sense. And that really helps to expand upon some of these other things. So she's a great foundation for everything else, to be honest, seriously. Because
Yeah, that's with
I don't
intention. So
know.
thank you for being a testament to that. Yes, I appreciate that. Yes, so I will tell you guys, the reason why I focused on people trying to make it to their first 6 figures is because I do show you the foundation you need for your business to launch off of to go even beyond 6 figures. Because what you usually do as entrepreneurs is you're jumping to get in these high price masterminds. You're jumping to get into these classes and stuff that are only about sales, only about marketing, and you don't have the foundation to be able to carry off those strategies, right? So I give you the foundation that positions you to take advantage of all of that stuff. So let me tell you, there's some good news in that. If you have been a part of a high price mastermind and didn't get results, if you have bought into these high price strategies and you didn't get results, when you come over here on this side of the world and we give you the foundation, you can go back to that stuff. And now it's like you've clicked a light switch and now that stuff will start to work for you because you'll understand how truly to apply it. Okay. So thank you for that, Dr. Tachi, because that is actually my mission in life around here. Because that's the only way you're going to get that freedom that you want. You want to say something, Joanna?
Yeah, because that actually brings up the point that I was wanting to make about why I jumped off last night was because I realized I had put the cart before the horse because I hadn't been in the clarity clinic.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, I'm in, let me go back with, so I said, I'm in the wrong space right now. That you were really giving good information. But yeah, that was why, yeah. I was where I was. So that was a great segue.
Because I kind of thought it out to split it up because I felt like if I had to try to teach you all of that stuff in one, you wouldn't have had a solid enough foundation. And most people try to skip to the part about the making of the money before they get that foundation. So even if I put the foundation in, the clarity in with the strategy, y'all gonna try to skip the clarity part and jump straight to the strategy. So now let's just focus on clarity. Let me just keep hammering you over the head on how important it is and how when you think you're clear, you're not actually clear because that's not clarity. Those things that y'all are using as clarity are suggestions, right? This is what it could be. But when I took y'all through that clarity, like we went deep, like now you truly have clarity if you did everything from the clinic, right? And then when we did the next level, I showed y'all how most of that stuff y'all have already done the work in the clarity clinic, but now you see how all the pieces fit together to push you forward through the next levels. So yes, that was important. And I figured that, Dewana, that's why we didn't bother you at all, boo. But yes, I even said that, the next level works best if you were in the clarity clinic, because otherwise you would be kind of lost. But yes, good deduction, I would say, Dewana. Cool beans. All right, everybody. This has been an excellent week. And I'm going to already tell you, I already know what next week is going to be about because when I got the download to do this week, I got the download to do this next one right after it. So next week, we're going to talk about contributing writing. Because that's a whole nother way to have high visibility, just like speaking. It ain't nothing but speaking in written form. It's all it is, okay? So that's a natural next progression for us to talk about. So that's what we'll be talking about next week, all right? So this has been great. The studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll